Thank you for listening to the Golden Hour Drip podcast with me, Logan Lee Miller. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Golden Hour Drip podcast. I'm your host, Logan Lee Miller. Happy Monday. Oh my gosh, I am so upset. This entire week is supposed to be rainy, and part of my personality has developed, and it comes every single spring, where I am pulling open the weather app. I'm checking the weather because spring is so hit or miss. It's like, is it going to be rainy? Is it going to be sunny? I'm also checking the UV. I'm trying to see, is it going to be at a 4 or 5? Because spring is the best time to lay out because I burn easy. Okay. Like if I just wait until June, July to get out in the sun, I know I'm going to fry and I'm going to get some like razorback tan and it's not going to look good. And then I'm going to work all summer to like try and fix it. So on these windy days, I will lay out and I will try to get some sun. But this week, the UV is going to be like 2. It's going to be cloudy. It's going to rain. It's not going to be good. And I'm not looking forward to it at all whatsoever. I hope that the forecast change. I hope that, the sun comes out and I can lay out, which brings me to some very sad news. With all of the wind, my umbrella snapped and broke. Yes, the brand new umbrella that I just purchased. I've only had it up like 1 or 2 times actually. And on Friday last week, I was like, okay, I put it up. It was kind of sunshiny. It really wasn't that windy in comparison to some of the winds that we have had other days. This was a mild wind, nothing at all. And it snapped. Okay. So I came inside for like a little snack and all of a sudden I hear this like huge bump against the house. I'm like, what the heck? It literally snapped the top off. It was still connected by the cord and is pressed up against our house. The base did not move because I put it in between one of the plats of our patio furniture. There's no hole in it. I just because it's a 2x4, I put it in the middle so that it wouldn't like blow away anymore. And because of that tension, it literally ripped it off. So I'm very sad. I'm going to have to get a new umbrella. So sad. Like furniture, outdoor furniture, patio setup, like it's kind of expensive and you have to get UV resistant and it has to be a certain material and everything, because it's outside, it could rain. And if you have mildew on it, it's like one thing after another. And I'm so annoyed about it, right? Like I really wanted an umbrella and I'm going to have to buy another one. So RIP, my little umbrella. So sad. Hydrangeas I picked up last Sunday. I'm so excited, guys. They're still not in the ground yet, which is unfortunate, but they are going to be going into the ground this week. So this is our like 3rd or 4th round of hydrangeas. I've tried to grow hydrangeas for so long. Mother's Day always like rolls around and there's these super beautiful hydrangeas. Everyone like purchased it for their mom. I purchased 2 hydrangeas not last year. This was like when I was a freshman in college or a senior in high school. I bought my mom 2 hydrangeas and she kept them alive in plants or in pots. Super cute. They were blue. Lovely. I have not been able to grow my own. So I've bought pot after pot and I'm a little annoyed because if you remember 2 years ago, I bought hydrangeas to put outside and I spent a couple $100, $400 to be exact. And I was so sad because I was like, all right, we're going to invest all this money into limelight hydrangeas. Okay. Limelight is better for like full sun. And I want it on the side of my house where there's like an afternoon sun and a morning sun on either side. Right. And they were going good. But I will say they were so small. Like the actual hydrangea plant that they sent me was so little for the price that I paid for them. So I was a little upset about that. But I put them outside. They were doing fine. And then I think it was a combination of putting them out in May, not trying to put them out like earlier than May. It was like middle of May. And also I was gone for like visiting my mom and dad in Iowa, and they got fried. Garrett forgot to water them. So that was like a huge heartache. I didn't try it last year, but this year I'm like, okay, I think that I'm ready to put these hydrangeas in. So I picked up 6 and I would like to put them in the front of my house. Zinnias have always been like in my front little patio part. They're really easy to grow. I've saved the seeds year after year. Super lovely. But I find when it comes like July, August, the stalks are like kind of dried out. It looks a little weedy. So I would like more of a bush situation. I've purchased like a bush, and I forget what they're called, but it's like, it's a variation that looks like a hydrangea, but it's like called a snowball something or another. I'm pretty sure my mom has this by our chicken coop in Iowa. And I bought 2 of those. Come to find out, they're better in full sun. So I'm going to move those out. And they did not have hydrangeas. They had like these little starts, but they didn't have like a full bush, if you will. But this past week when I went, I saw that they had huge hydrangeas. Now, there's a controversy about if you are to plant hydrangeas that are already blooming, because you're supposed to plant them dormant, and the beautiful blooms that you've seen, they've been manipulated through light, right? Like in a nursery, so that they will bloom faster and look beautiful, and like people decorate with them, right? Lots of people don't have success with this. But I just remember when I bought my mom those hydrangeas, it was during Mother's Day. Like it can happen. So I got the biggest out of the entire bunch. It probably took me an hour to pick out the 6 hydrangea plants that I wanted. I pulled like them all out, measured them on a height, and I put them 3 in like my little patio part that is dirt. And then we have 3 windows that is like next to our living room. And I would like to join it, right? Like I want them to be matched, even though there's not like a little cubby part for the other side of the windows. But my thought is, okay, like we're going to dig it up. We're going to put like a little bit of that like landscaping plastic and make it its own little flower garden. The only problem with that is when this house was built, they poured like excess concrete right there, like from the foundation. And so it's kind of a mess, right? We have a huge section in our back patio where grass is not grown. It's like close to where the concrete is poured for the patio. So there's like gravel and dirt there too. And so I'm thinking that we're going to cut some of the grass from the front of the house, transplant it to the back of the house, and then lay some soil down for the hydrangeas in the front part. So doing a little landscaping this week, just trying to make my house like look how I envision it, right? I've talked about my dream journal, how I have cut out photos of what I want my life to look like. And having the visual is so impactful, but also I have like written in my journal and like how I want my life to look. And a couple of years ago, I just envisioned, this was back when I was at a job that I was absolutely hating. And I was just thinking, okay, how do I want my life to look like? What do I want my mornings to look like? What do I want my evenings to look like? And I just have this vision of being able to go outside, having my morning beverage, whether it's my colostrum with sea salt and coconut water, or if I'm having my coffee, whatever morning beverage, and I'm going outside and I'm doing a little, sun salutation. I'm doing like a yoga flow, and I just envision the backdrop being these big, beautiful hydrangea plants. Okay. This is what I want so bad. And I went and I did my yoga teacher training. I completed that. And now like, what's stopping me from growing hydrangeas? This year, I'm going to have the most time at home. I don't have any like major trips planned. And I just like, this is part of my vision. This is part of my dream life. This is what I want. So little bit of landscaping. I still want limelight hydrangeas. I don't know how I'm going to pull that off this year, but hopefully like I got pink hydrangeas. I can't remember the variation of hydrangeas. I do believe all hydrangeas that are like the pink or blue ones, not the limelight ones, but they're pink or blue. I'm pretty sure you can change it with the pH. So I did some research on TikTok. It was talking about, like if you drink coffee, make sure you put your grounds outside. And there was something else, like you can lime them or acidify them, and you can have like different colors. So potentially I could have pink, blue, and purple hydrangeas if it calls for it. Now, our house has a lot of clay dirt, and clay sometimes can be more acidic than alkaline. So we'll see what kind of variations we get. But I'm just really excited. Like, I feel like I've been stuck in this loop of, okay, this is what I want. And then not going after it, not doing the thing. Sometimes it's time, sometimes it's energy, other times it's finances, right? Hydrangeas are kind of expensive. They are, the ones I purchased were like almost $30 a piece. Like, that is an investment if they're just going to shrivel up and die. My patio furniture, like all of the things that I'm wanting, or just like trying to like get it together. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of just feeling like I'm in a dressing room. Like, I have to wait to prepare for things. I have to I can't do it. I'm in this holding pattern, and I don't understand why I've been like kind of stagnant, to be honest, and not wanting to take the leap, not wanting to put in the like full work or investment of like exactly what I want. So this past week, honestly, I went a little crazy. I picked up that huge China hutch, right? Like a couple of weeks ago, and it's beautiful. I think it's been 2 weeks now. Absolutely stunning. I love, love, love it. It has nothing in it yet in the display part. In the bottom, I've put in like a couple quilts, but this is a piece that I have been like wanting for so long, but they're like super expensive. They can be 700 plus thousands, So it's like, all right, I got that piece. I've always imagined having a hutch in my house. I've always imagined having beautiful glassware, being able to host. And I love having people over. I love putting together beautiful dining scapes. And the problem is I didn't have anywhere to store it. So it's like, I'm checking that off my list. I am getting my landscaping done. I have cleaned out my my office. I'm just like niching down my habits so deeply that I'm really excited for where the trajectory is going and like how everything is like coming together. And I feel like it was a huge mindset shift of I'm tired of just like settling. I guess that's what it is. Like, I've been in this holding pattern, and I've just been settling for the things that, I have been accepting or dealing with, and or thinking, next year I'll do it, or maybe next month or whatever. Like, I'm so done with it. I'm ready to make some changes and shift into that next and greater identity, right? Like, it's still me. It's just like stepping into that next level and doing the things I've always wanted to do, but kind of like have the mindset that I've been like holding myself back. So I've been doing a lot of just like thinking and reflecting on how I want this spring and this summer to look, and the actions that have to like go with that. So yeah, hydrangeas have been like, they're a small piece, right? Like, a plant seems so silly, but to me, it's much deeper than that. It's a part of a puzzle piece that needed to be completed so that everything else can come together. So hydrangeas, check. Okay, we got them for this year. I really hope that they survive. I will see, if you're watching on YouTube, I have these beautiful tulips beside me. Tulip is another plant that I absolutely love. And my Southern Living magazine came in, and it was talking about like this guy, he has like this huge tulip farm. Not that he like cuts it, a tulip garden. Okay. And they planted like 70,000 bulbs on his acreage. I think it's like 20 acres. That is so many tulips. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, like it's kind of late in the season to plant tulips, but I'm kind of wanting to plant tulips because pink tulips are my favorite. I love white tulips. Garrett picked me up. He got me these tulips. He also got me some red tulips that are on my kitchen table. And like spring flowers are just so beautiful. And I wish like I had tulips all over, but I know that they don't bloom during the summer. So that's where hydrangeas come in, right? Like I plant everywhere in tulips and then everything else is a hydrangea. I also love the, not persimmons, not posies. I always think posy, but they are this beautiful, oh my gosh, what the heck are they called? They're so pretty. They have like a huge bloom. They come during, not persimmon. I literally cannot think of this plant. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful. I would love one of those. My lilac tree is also blooming. Girl, I am so excited because my mom gave me probably 20 of these little like saplings from her lilac bush. And I planted a couple, didn't know if they would come up or not. And one has like quite a bit of leaves on it. So I'm really, really excited. Come to find out, like they are also full sun. So the one that I planted in the middle of my yard, I was afraid that I was going to get roasted, but it's doing so well in comparison to the others, like in the back patio. I don't know. Like I am so over just waiting to start my life or waiting to like have the things that I want. Like, why can't I have them right now? I understand like sometimes there's going to be like a waiting period. And I feel like I've been in the waiting period. I'm ready to just have like a beautiful environment. I'm ready to be able to spend time outside. I'm ready for friends to come over. I'm ready for all of these things to happen. And I feel like I'm slowly weeding out all of the, like imperfection parts that I'm not happy with, because if I don't know, like my huge, Monstera plant, like I look at it and I look at like the pot that it's in. I'm like, I hate the pot. Like I need to just go buy another pot. If I take the initiative and I actually do it, because it all comes back down to the mindset of like, yeah, you could, right? Like if you think of any of your dreams, if you think of any of your aspirations, it's like, yeah, I want to do this thing. I could do this thing, but will you do the thing? Like, will you actually take action? Will you take the time to plan it out or search for that piece that you want to go in your house, or search for the plant that's going to work best in the flower garden that you have? I just like, I think honestly, this all started with replacing my office chair. Like I borrowed Garrett's chair for the longest time, and it honestly, it hurt my back. Like it was wobbly, and I was just like, it's around, like it's fine. So why replace it? But I'm tired of accepting mediocrity. And I'm like, you know what? I can go buy a new chair. Why am I not buying a new chair? I will spend money like on something so dumb and not think twice about it. But the things that I've been thinking about for ages takes me longer to actually purchase them. I've been thinking about a new chair for 2 years. I've worked for home for 2 years, and I just replaced my chair. That's crazy. Like, why are we settling something sometimes, you know? The other thing, I have thrown out all of our candles. If you listen to one of my early episodes of this year, I talked about cleaning our cleaning supplies and throwing out any of the like toxic chemicals. We've completely switched over to Branch Basics, and we have been using up the products in our bathroom. I'm talking like our soap, right? Because we have this like huge jug of like Harry's body wash, which honestly I'm so sad to stop using because it smells so good. Garrett also has these huge soaps. I think they're called like big ass soaps or something. Really or Duke Cannon soap is maybe what it's called. They're huge bars. We have 3 of those to get through. So as soon as we get through, because some things, yes, like I don't mind throwing away, but other things I'm like, we can use it up before we replace it. So I've kind of been like just slowly going through the body wash that we have, slowly going through the toothpaste we have and replacing it with better alternatives. One of those things that I've thrown out completely in our home is candles. I love candles so much. Like the essence of the like open flame is beautiful, right? There's studies shown that when our brain sees fire, like it's like helpful for your brain, right? Like it's something that our brain likes. And that goes back to our ancient brain and like being outside and having a fire and like the warmth of it. And I have not had any candles or scentsies like for, I don't know, since November. Like I've thrown out the last little bit of our candles and just decided that I didn't want to burn something that was going to hurt the air inside my home, right? Like I don't want to burn something that, yeah, it might look aesthetic, but in the end, like it's not good for me and it's not good for my dogs. So I completely got rid of all the candles and I've just been suffering with no candles. Like it's so nice. You clean your home and it feels so good and you want to turn on your favorite show or movie, maybe a new movie, and you want to light a candle. And guess what? You have no candles. So I've been looking at primarily pure. Is that how you say it? They have a couple non-toxic items. I've been wanting to dry brush, right? Like I know that seems like they're kind of off topic, but dry brushing, I've thought about it for the last couple of years. Like, oh, I really need to get a dry brush, but I'm trying to avoid the microplastics. I've been trying to avoid like buying something that is not, natural or any of those things. So with the dry brush, it has to be like a certain bristle. And then you take a look of like the handle, and I've looked on Ulta, I've looked at Sephora. They don't have what I need. And so I searched it up, and the one that I found was from Primarily Pure. Perfect, amazing. They had a body dry brush and then they had a face dry brush. And I put it off because it was like, okay, if I'm going to purchase the dry brush, I don't want to have to pay for shipping. I don't know why, but in my brain, I don't want to pay for shipping. I want free shipping, and I will put something extra in my cart so that I don't have to pay for shipping. Well, they have these beautiful non-tox candles. The candles are $60-ish. They're like $54 to $58, depending on what scent you get. And for me, that's like a big investment to buy a candle that you've never smelt before. And it's like 9 ounces. You think a candle you can get at Marshall's or TJ Maxx is going to be like $7. Like in comparison, like I used to think $20 was a lot for a candle, right? And I would try and find the discount. And here's the problem. I did buy beeswax. I haven't been successful in finding like a wick that is clean burning that I can put in the candle. So I've been trying to search for something. I don't want it to be soy. I don't want it to be a paraben. Like I am looking for that like natural wick. I have not been able to find one. So I have 5 pounds of beeswax I need to do something with, but I just haven't done it. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, when I finally buy the dry brush, I'm also going to buy a candle. This is something that has taken up so much space in my brain for months and months and months. And I'm like, I could be having what I want. I think in total, because I just placed this order this past week, I think it was a total of $90. And if I take my hourly rate and how much I have thought about this, I could buy it so many times over, right? Because your brain will repeat things over and over. Like the average person has so many thoughts in a day, right? I don't know the exact statistic. The only thing that has stuck with me is you repeat 80 to 90% of the thoughts every single day. That's why like it's important to if it's something that you do want to focus on, or like mind dumping in a journal, because then you're able to focus on other things. But I the mental not stress, but the mental impact, right? Like it's taken up space in my brain. And in comparison, like I could be thinking about other things. I could be working on projects that I want to work on, but it's just taken up so much room in my brain that, I mean, you take an hourly rate and you multiply it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I could have been productive in so many other ways in comparison to just like, I made the purchase and I can have it immediately. In comparison to like, I've spent money on a restaurant, say like someone says, oh, let's go out, and I order something, and then I order maybe a mocktail, and then we order an appetizer, and then took like 2 meals like that. That's almost $100. So it's just, I don't want to have it take up space in my brain of something that I've thought of for so long, right? Like I've wanted a non-tox candle. The initial price has scared me, but I know in the long run, it's going to be better for my health. And that's just like the entire mentality that I've been having. Like I know here I am getting all caught up. I know it's not going to be immediately. It's these small steps that I'm changing to like edit my life in the way that seems better for me and the things that I want to do, whether it's my closet right now. Oh my gosh, guys, I brought down all of my summer clothes, and I just did all of my winter clothes, right? Like only natural fibers, only making sure that it is something that I want to continue to wear in the next season. And yes, there's a couple products that I've like, or a couple outfits that I've kept because I'm like, oh, like I can't replace this item yet. It's still usable. For example, like a lot of jackets or like sports attire. Sometimes like I haven't been able to find a natural alternative yet or be able to afford it. So I've like kept those. But sweaters, you know, how many sweaters do I actually need? I got rid of a whole bunch of polyester and nylon fabrics and kept my cotton fabrics, kept my, I had one wool sweater, and it was kind of itchy. I actually just put it in the donation pile. But it's like, okay, small edits. It's going to take a while. It's not going to be immediate, but I can start moving in the right direction of, instead of just like going out and wasting money, right? Like, because I was just talking about how it was $90 for, I actually got a couple things. I got a candle, I got the face dry brush, I got the body dry brush, and I got 2 chapsticks, right? And that was $90. I thought about it for so long, and in comparison to something that you just like, oh, I went to a boutique and I saw a nice top that I liked, and it was $60, and it was, you know, it's going to shrink next time I put it in the washer. So it's shifting the mindset of, I'm not going to buy it just because it's there. And then the things that I've been like wanting for so long, actually like spending my energy and time to do that, instead of just like it keeping up space in my brain and thinking one day I will buy the $50 candle or $55 candle, so that I can light it, right? And I can enjoy that, and I can sit in my bubble bath, and I can have my candle, and I can read a magazine, even though I know magazines are not good, you know, the paper, all the things, whatever. I enjoy it. So it's a give and a take, but I am unwilling to give up the things that I have been like dreaming about or putting on my Pinterest board. Like I want what I want, and I get it. Like I'm not going to be able to get everything I want all the time and immediately, but I just need to reframe my mindset of, okay, this is something that I want. This is something that has been on my dream board. What hasn't been on my dream board, but that I'm like consistently spending money on or spending time and energy, and how can I shift that? Sometimes it goes well when I have this mindset. Other times it goes very poorly. So one thing that I've been wanting to upgrade in our house is our glassware. We have these like beer pint glasses, and I do like them. I do, but I don't really drink water from a glass. I have my Stanley, and she is getting beat up. So I think I'm going to have to replace it with my Awala. I already have the Awala. I just need to use it in comparison to my Stanley. But what I love about the Stanley is it holds so much ice and water, right? In comparison to a pint water glass, it doesn't hold as much water. Like it's kind of small. So like we have all of these pint glasses and they're not even very pretty. Like this is something, I got a couple of them from a fundraiser. Like you could take the glass, they were edged. I got one from when I worked at a bank, and it has like a clover on it. These are like all glass etchings, so it's not like a colorful print. Garrett has one from a job that he used to work at. So like they are all uniform in the aspect that they're pint glasses, but they like some of them have like a mule and a horseshoe on it. Like, I don't know. So you can't really tell that they have like a design on. Some of them are just like plain, but anyways, so we have those, and I got these really, really lovely glasses from my mother-in-law during Christmas. They are glass bone, really pretty confetti style. If you just like search up glass bone confetti drinking glasses, it will pop up, I promise. So she got us two, and one of them had like a piece of the blown glass like kind of fall out. Super weird, super bizarre. But I was like, hey, you know, they got them in Duluth, and I know that they're moving. So I said, before you guys move from this place, I would love to get another one to replace it, right? And so we now have three. And I want to buy another one. That would be 4 drinking glasses. And I think to myself, you know what? Like we have all of these like pint glasses. I'm going to say we have about 18 of them. That's a lot, right? Like, and I don't think we've purchased any, to be honest. Maybe we got some in our wedding registry. But I look at them and I think, oh gosh, like, yeah, that's nice. But again, I've mentioned this before. I don't want to feel like a college kid. I don't want to feel like I have just like things stacked up or it's not serving, where it's like, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it. So I've been choosing to have these pint glasses. So I went to Marshall's and I was like, you know, no, it was Home Goods. It was Home Goods. I was walking around and I saw some taller, because the ones we have are like shorter. They're more of like a juice glass. These were like taller, as like you would put water in them. And it wasn't at the bottom like the confetti ones we have. It was more at the rim. Super, super cute. So I picked 4 of those up, and they are made out of recycled glass. They look so cute. And then I also saw some wine glasses. So I picked up the wine glasses. I picked up the water glasses. And as I was walking around, I always check the mirror section in Home Goods because I want a mirror in our house. I want a big mirror. I want to be able to like look at myself honestly. Like before I go out, I want to look at my entire outfit. And it's really hard to look at your entire outfit in just like your bathroom mirror. Like mine are short. I can't see my entire, like from shoe to head. Like I want to be able to see the entire outfit and not it be warped or not have to like jump and try and see like parts of it. And so I went to Home Goods and I decided, I was like, today is the day. I have already like purchased these things that have been on my list, and I want a mirror. The mental space that a mirror has taken up in my brain it's been a lot. Like I want a mirror, and I think, where would I put the mirror? Would I put it in the hallway? Would I put it in my office? Would I put it in the kitchen? Would I put it in the living room? Like, where would I put it? When I say kitchen, I mean like the dining room kitchen. It's like the same thing. It's very, open style. But I decided I was going to buy one, and I bought one, and it was kind of cloudy, a little overcast. I was going to a birthday dinner, and so I knew I didn't have like a ton of time to go shopping before, but I was like, all right, I'm going to try and fit it in the cab. I had good luck hauling the cabinet the weekend prior, so I was like, I can for sure haul this mirror. And I tried to fit it inside. I did not fit inside. They're like, let's put it in the back. And I'm like, this is a mirror. It's going to break if I don't have any like blankets or cushions. So I told them I would come and pick it up the next day. Next day rolls around. It's kind of a busy day for me on Saturday. I had book club, then I had tennis lessons, and then I had to try and pick this up, come back home, get showered, change all the things to go to my social club dinner. So it was a bit of a day. I go back and I try to fit in the back of my pickup after getting several quilts. And it was too long. Guys, I had to return it. And I returned not the water glasses. I returned the wine glasses because they had like more brown than I was expecting. And that's another thing. Like, if you decide to do something and it doesn't quite work out, don't just like settle for it. Don't think, oh, well, I did buy the wine glasses yesterday. It's too much of a hassle to return it. No, like it didn't quite fit exactly what I envisioned. So I went and returned it because I'm not going to use up space in my cabinet or in my new china cabinet if it's not something that is like, if I'm not totally in love with it, right? Like if it is a maybe, then it's a no. I want it to be a full out yes, so that I am having total autonomy of my time, so that I feel so good about the decision. There's no doubt in my mind and I can just move forward. So return the glasses. And the girl who helped me the night that I actually bought the mirror, and then the second day that I bought the mirror, I felt so bad. I was like, this won't fit. I'm going to have to return it. I can't haul it home. I'm going to have to order a mirror. So I'm going to hop on like Nebraska Furniture Mart or some other, maybe Wayfair. I've been getting so many. This is how marketing has been working for me. Okay. I see it on the Peacock ads and I'm like, maybe I do Kelly Clarkson. She's like the spokesgal for it. I'm like, maybe I check out Wayfair and see if I can get a mirror. It would also make me feel better because I'm not hauling it. So if it breaks like in transit, I can return it in comparison to like if I had broke it on the way home, there would be no returning. So, anyways, I need to check that out, get a mirror, had to return it. Super, super sad. So sometimes like when you want something, it's not going to pan out. And I just have it in my mind, like that wasn't the perfect mirror for me. It's okay. Like I'll find something better. But yeah, I want the mindset of I'm tired of waiting for the things that I want, and I'm never going to have the most time or the most like, I don't know. Like, why not now? Why not now? I've waited so long. If not now, when? If you don't make the changes, if you don't have the like mental decision of I am working to improve my life, or I am working to improve my environment, or how I want to wake up every single day. Like I have been not unhappy, but there's so many things where I'm like, oh man, like I need this. Like this is something that I really want, and something so stupid has been like stopping me of like, oh, I need to take the time to like research it, right? Like wallpaper. I have found a wallpaper company and I've been like searching on which samples I want to be sent to my house because I'm putting wallpaper up. I'm ready to take action. My New Year's 3 words of 2025, I have simplify, I have execute, and I have empathy. I keep coming back to these 3 words, and I have been simplifying. I have been removing things from my environment that don't align with me, right? Like whether it's the clothing or the cleaning products or an old chair. Or what else did I do? Oh yeah, I'm not going to plant zinnias in my front patio. Like that's removing it. I'm simplifying it. I'm going to plant them somewhere else. Or my patio, like simplify it. Get it down to the bare bones. I just cleaned out my closet. Like my craft closet. I just cleaned all of that out. So I've been simplifying. Now I want to execute any decision that I have been thinking about. And I'm like, oh, I should do that. I should do that. I should do that. Or I can't do that. One day I will. One day I will. Okay. Do it now. If you can, why not now? Like, will you? If you can, will you? Yes, I will. I'm going to be doing these things. So I'm in the executing phase right now. And then maybe I go back to simplify and I, simplify some things and I get rid of them, like the wine glasses. I thought in execution, I made a decision. I didn't allow my brain to overthink it because sometimes you have this analysis paralysis where you're like, thinking about everything that could go wrong, or maybe there's different options out there and maybe this isn't the right decision. Maybe you need to think about it some more. I'm tired of thinking about it. I want to clear out some of the mental space. If that's something that I want, something that I've thought about, something that has been on my Pinterest board for so long, I'm just going to do it. Like I'm overweighting. I guess like I'm so overweighting. I just want to execute it. I want to get it done and not constantly be thinking, oh, maybe when I have more money, I can invest in that thing. No, like I remember back when I first got out of college, I thought I was making a bunch of money and it was $10 an hour. And I was, you're going to have your same spending and saving habits. So I have the saving part down. It's like my spending part. Like I'm not using my dollars appropriately. Like, of course I'm saving the money, but I'm not utilizing the money that I want to spend in the best way because I'm like, oh, well, I'm just going to like go on a whim and buy this thing that like so quick in comparison to, hey, I want this thing that I've actually been thinking about. So it's all been a mental shift and I'm just executing and getting it done. Back to like cleaning out the projects, like slowly but surely utilizing and using up the things that I currently have before purchasing more stuff, right? Like I need to determine like if I want to still have that thing, still like that product, instead of just like, oh, well, we're running low, bulk up, get a lot more. I still have saran wrap that I bought in like a bulk pack from Costco 5 years ago. Like we're on the last little bit. Saran wrap is not something that we use all the time. So I think to myself, oh, like saran wrap, like I thought we need a whole bunch more and we actually didn't need that much. So it's not going out and just repurchasing something to repurchase it because I've been running low, but my skincare has been running extra low. Out of all of my products that I've used, hyaluronic acid was the last thing. I had no moisturizer left. I was like, if I washed my face, I just put hyaluronic acid on it. I wasn't really wearing any mascara or anything because I wasn't able to take it off. So I wasn't even wearing makeup, honestly, because I thought to myself, how am I going to take this off if I don't have any makeup remover or don't have any skincare to replace the natural oils that I strip off from washing my face constantly? And that was something that I was putting off. I was like, I don't want to have to make this big purchase. I don't want to have to go to Ulta. But you know what I was thinking? Oh, I'm breaking out on the side of my face. I should schedule a facial. No, like you need your fundamentals down before you can do something like, yes, a facial is a service, right? Like you're laying there and they're washing your face and they're improving it. However, why am I so quick to be like, I'm going to buy a facial tomorrow in comparison to, hey, I need to update my skincare. I haven't been cleaning my face. I haven't been putting my oils on. Like that's what I'm talking about, where I procrastinate purchasing the thing that I actually want. And instead of just like on a whim, I'm like, oh, I'm going to spend money and do this thing like a facial. So I was looking at facials all week. I was like, do I buy this? Should I book it? Should I do this? And maybe a hydrofacial will really clean up my skin. And like, I had a bunch of, I don't know, it's just a mess. Okay. And instead I said, no, I'm going to go to Ulta. And here was the problem. Again, sometimes things are not going to work out. Just like my mirror did not fit in my pickup. I went to Ulta. This was right before my tennis lesson. So I had about 30 minutes that I could stop at Ulta. I could get the products that I needed and to get my skincare routine back in business. I forgot my wallet at home because contacts. I had been procrastinating purchasing contacts, even though it's just like on our HSA or FSA or whatever. It's already money that we had for contacts, but I kept putting it off. I didn't know if I wanted to do dailies or if I wanted to keep with my monthlies. I ultimately decided to do my monthlies because I felt like the dailies in the night wasn't very good for my stigmatism. But anyways, I brought my wallet into my office. I didn't put it back in my bag. So I didn't have my wallet to purchase, things from Ulta. And I was like, crap, like here I want to execute, here I want to actually do the thing that I have been thinking about, and I didn't even have it. And instead of thinking, oh, I can't do it, I'll wait months and months. No, that night I got on my phone and I bought an order. Like I did an online order, and it did scare me because it was like, oh, estimated delivery April 1st. And I was like, or April 2nd. I was like, oh my gosh, that's like a whole week away. I could just go to Ulta like this weekend. I could just purchase it. But I said, nope, I'm going to make the purchase. And it came in 2 days. Like it was so fast, but I ordered everything that I had been lacking. Like I didn't skimp. I didn't like try to about the things that I actually love. And it's because I asked myself the question, instead of just like repurchasing again, I was like, did I actually like this product? So, last year I was in the makeup aisle and I had like a bunch of swatches on the back of my hand. I went to rinse it off because I had a birthday dinner I was going to, and Ulta, I did notice this past week, because I went in there for one other thing that I had forgot on I forgot eyebrow gel in my Ulta order. So I did end up going like on Friday or Thursday or Saturday. I can't remember. Anyways, so I had like a bunch of swatches back last fall, and I like squirted they had, my gosh, not Clearasil. What is it? Oh my gosh. I cannot think of it. It's like, maybe it's Clearasil. I don't know. It's one of the older brands that are very popular. It was very popular. They had like an infomercial with, I brain rot. Okay. I can't even think of a single damn thing. Julian Huff. Okay. She was like the face of this brand when I was in high school for their like acne solutions. It's Clinique. Okay. Clinique. So I had squirted some Clinique facial cleanser on my hand for like the swatches I had, and it came off completely. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. I purchased it, and it's like $28. That's a lot for a cleanser in comparison to like other drugstore cleansers, but it got the makeup off so good. I said, perfect, amazing. Then Good Molecules had sent me a package last November, and I really liked their toner, their hyaluronic acid, and their niacinamide. And then they have like this lightweight moisturizer. Really like those products. So I went and purchased a couple other products for them, including the eye patches, the caffeine cream, and a couple other things. Well, when I ran out of my Clinique, I was like, maybe I'll try the Good Molecules cleanser. It was not as soft is not the word. It wasn't for sensitive skin. My cheeks were inflamed. I think the product was a little more harsh with the salicylic acid in it. So I utilized that until it was almost empty. And I went back to the Clinique cleanser, even though I don't use anything else from their product line. I got a whole bunch of Good Molecules things. I got, again, the toner, the niacinamide, the hyaluronic acid. I tried this pineapple exfoliator. That's a new product that I just tried. Very nice. The powder is ground so, I thought maybe it'd be a little bit coarser, and I was pleasantly surprised when it was like so smooth, but still a really great exfoliant. And then when it came down to the serums, I need a retinol serum and I need like a daily oil. And Good Molecules, their serums are very small, very like minuscule. It was so hard to even like have the dropper, right? Because when I'm applying skincare, oil is the last thing that I put on, and it was hard to even squeeze out. I didn't really like it. So I went back to the Ordinary brand. Ordinary is like the first skincare products that I used pretty seriously. And I liked some of the Good Molecules products better, but I went back to the oil. So I did their retinol. It's like this kind of milky consistency. I've used it for the last couple of days. going so good. And then I got a rose oil maybe. So I mixed and matched, but I did not like, even though the Clinique cleanser was more, I knew that it worked for my skin better. So I'm just going to purchase it. I'm not going to allow like this mental hold thinking, oh gosh, like I should have, because the Good Molecule was one, I think it was $14, like almost double the price, but I like that one better. So I'm going to purchase that one. The oil, like the Ordinary brand is better. Like, yes, I want things to be cohesive and perfect, but I'm going to buy it because it works better for me. My eyebrow gel. I transitioned from the, back in middle school. Listen, I was gelling my eyebrows before anybody else was. Like, I have always had one eyebrow that grew like more rounded and one that grew straight up. I have been training the eyebrow that grows round to go straight up, right? And I used to use Maybelline clear mascara, and I upgraded from that to the soap brow. Everyone was doing the soap brow. Then I tried an e.l.f. brow gel, and I finally just went to Anastasia brow gel. It's quite a bit more expensive, but it holds so well. Like I'm refusing to not get exactly what I want, right? And it seems so like dumb because you think, oh gosh, like I could do a better alternative, or you like try and cheapen it up, or you think, oh, well, like this product is just as good, even though it's like lacking some of the things that you're wanting, or pieces in your life, anything. It could be a job. Like these seem so silly. They seem so surface level of like what cleanser I'm going to use, or what chair I'm going to have in my office, or the plants that are growing outside. But it's so much more than that. Once you start just accepting like what you have been dealt, or what you thought was good, instead of trying to improve, instead of trying to do something better or trying something new, like I could have just went with the Good Molecules cleanser, even though it doesn't work for my skin. Like it makes me inflamed. Like it's not what I want. And instead, like trying something better, trying something new, and not allowing like any barrier to stop me. I get that it sounds super surface level. Like, yes, these are things in my home, and could I live without them? Absolutely. I'm never going to allow them to have like a hold on my self-worth. However, if it's going to allow my life to be a little bit easier, if it's going to allow me to be a little bit more happy, I'm going to do it. I want to step into that next version of myself. And these are the things, these are the actions that I'm taking that go along with it. Same with like how I work out, or what I'm consuming in the day, who I'm spending time with. Like I'm in this period where I am just editing every single aspect of my life. And it's so funny. For our book club this past Saturday, I have a social club in Kansas City. It's super fun. I host monthly events, and I picked the book this month. It's called The Most Fun We Ever Had. And in so many ways, this book hit me in my heart because yes, it was like very much reality, as in like, it wasn't fictional. Like, it was an interesting book. Book club as a whole, we rated it as a 3, straight down the middle. I honestly was expecting a more harsh critique, but for me, the reason I liked it probably a little bit more is because of the alignment in so many ways of my real life and my own childhood. So in the book, it has 4 daughters, and it talks about like the mom and the dad, and then it talks about them raising their children, and it talks about each of the lives of the children. So there's the oldest, Wendy, then Violet, then Elizabeth, I don't know, middle child. You always forget about them. And then they had the younger child, Gracie. And the 2 oldest, Wendy and Violet, they're Irish twins. And me and my sister, Caitlin, are super, super close. We're a month and 11 days apart. Then we have a sister, Ashley. She is a whole year younger. And then we have an age gap, and we have our little sister, Lily. So in so many ways, this book was like aligned, although I have a brother who's a year older. And then I have a brother, who is 16. it still like was very, very similar. And I think about how the sisters, one sister kind of accepted what was given to her and is kind of stuck in like this cycle of, she had some hardships in her life and she allowed those to kind of like stop living and stop like chasing after her dreams. She's kind of just like in the stagnant area. Then you have this other sister who's continuously trying to improve, and she, although in some ways she's not perfect either, I mean, nobody is perfect, she wanted to create a life that she loved. She had this vision of what she wanted, and she pushed forward and had it. So we just finished that. We had so much discussion on Saturday. And so that's like at the forefront of my mind, because as I'm hosting this book club, I'm asking everyone, I'm saying, which sister did you align with? And for one of the sisters, Wendy, for her, I'm like, I probably aligned the most with Wendy. Although like there is some things, a lot of things I did not agree with, but I also aligned with like, I think that's important with a good book. Like, if you can't root for a character, then it's hard to like finish the book or read the series or whatever, right? And so like just thinking about, okay, like what am I going to do? Am I going to stay stagnant in the things that I'm doing and just like accept what life is throwing at me? Or am I going to try and improve like in a positive light? Like, am I going to try to just edit and make it how I want? Because we only have like so much time. And I really am just taking a closer look at how I'm spending my time and what I want to continue with and the other things that can be removed, right? And if you never bring any awareness to it, if you don't think about it, if you just kind of like go through the motions, then you might not know what you're missing. So that's why it's important to take some time for yourself and maybe write it out, or you go on Pinterest and you pin all the things. I'm heavy on the Pinterest. Okay. I told you guys 2 weeks ago that I have JOMO, where it blocks my apps. Very impactful, very impactful, because I still have Pinterest open. And so I can scroll on Pinterest and my feed is curated to my boards, right? And so when I look on Pinterest and I see some of the things that are on my feed, I'm like, oh yeah, that's so aspirational. I want the hydrangeas. Well, why am I scrolling on social media? I should be outside digging a hole for my hydrangeas. Or if I see a clean kitchen, I'm like, oh yeah, I would love a clean kitchen. Why am I scrolling? I could have a clean kitchen. And it's so many things like that, right? Like you can look online and you can just think, oh my gosh, I want this, I want this, I want this. And if it's on TikTok, if it's on Instagram, like it's a dopamine hit instead of like flat photos on Pinterest, where it's like, oh yeah, these are the aspirational things that I want. Why am I not working to get them? Why am I not like putting forth the effort or making that come true? Because yes, you can get so much inspiration from social media, but are you actually living the life that you want to live? Are you actually putting forth the things that you want and can do with your time, energy, or money? And how can you make that a reality? How can you set forth like the small little edits, the small little changes? For me, a big thing is I hate clutter. It's probably a response to something in my childhood, but I don't like things stacked upon things. I want a clear area to work. I want things to, when I wake up, I don't want to have to worry, oh my gosh, like I have so many clothes stacked up or things don't have their spot. Like that is a mental load on your brain. I want to clear that out. I want to just make sure that it's better. I don't know. Like there are so many ways that you can like get what you want if you just put forth the effort, but sometimes you have to take the time of quiet. Maybe it's blocking your apps. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's going on Pinterest and just adding a thing. Oh, this is what I did. Okay, take it or leave it. Legs up the wall is my favorite thing. So you lay on your back, you scooch your butt to like your baseboard, and you put your legs up the wall. You play a nice music, something soothing. I love a spa music. And you just lay there and you let your heart slow down because it's no longer pumping the blood. It's letting gravity do its thing. You sit there for 10 minutes, and then once you have, some quiet space, you journal out what you envision or what you want for your life. Maybe it's your dream life in 5 years, maybe it's 10 years, whatever it is. Maybe it's no timeline. You're just like, this is what I want. After you journal about it, you pop onto Pinterest, you create a board of that year, 2025. This is what I did for 25. And I added all the things I would search up, from my journal entry. I'd be like, okay, hydrangeas, yoga, sunshine, right? I talked about that at the very beginning of this episode, where I want to be able to sit outside or have my beverage and do my yoga sequence in the sun with the hydrangeas. So I'm going to pin those to my board. Then you can print them out. I paste them next to my journal entries. Now I have this physical thing I can look at any time and remind myself, am I working towards this? Am I spending my time in a positive way? And have I been distracting myself with things that I actually don't want or don't need? Those really impulsive purchases, instead directing that energy into something from my Pinterest board or something that I've been wanting and dreaming about for so long. So maybe you take this evening a little time for yourself to dream up how you want your life to live, how you want your life to look, so that you can start living it. So thank you so much for listening to this week's podcast episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please review, subscribe, all the things, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.